You need ID?
And people keep going there. Maybe it's the thought, the feeling that you're missing out on something, that you're at some important place, that you're around some important person. But when you go to see Rodney Howard Browne at his church, the River Church in Tampa, I believe, you're not missing out on anything. As a matter of fact, you're partaking in something that you absolutely should not. But just when you think that you've seen it all and things can't get, I don't know, weirder or worse, we see this. People requiring people to show their ID and present other information just to get into a church service.
Look at how I gotta check in a church. Watch this. You need ID?
Now, this clearly has been happening because they've got this little setup and he's inputting the person's information, presumably their name and their driver's license number, maybe their address. I'm sorry, first of all, that's just a bigger security risk, or just as big a security risk as it is to you as one that they purport to be having there. This is just weird. First of all, I'm pretty sure they don't have the ability to even know that this is an actual ID, because I'm quite sure they're not tied into the Department of Motor Vehicles or whatever you call it down in Florida. But you're giving out your personal information to go visit this church, to go to this church, and they're inputting this into a computer where obviously it's going to be stored on some sort of database. And you guys are comfortable with that?
Thank you.
Now, then you get the bracelet to, and we're going to show why, the reason for the bracelet, and it's to keep track of you where you are. And people are still going there. This is really, really sad. It's disgusting. It's troubling in so many different ways. It really is. Now, this here is someone who decided to go there. They're videotaping, and the problem that you see is that the sheer number of people who are being fooled by this, the sheer number of people who are just caught up in this, and as they make their way through, that's just even worse. Not just what they're doing, but the fact that so many people are being bamboozled. But let's just read this disclaimer, this little attention grabber here. It says, right of admission reserved, proper identification required to go into a church. Proper identification is required. It makes you wonder that if what you have is so wonderful, so awesome, so necessary, why do you need identification? What happens if you don't? Well, I guess if you don't, then you're just out of luck, right? And so going back to it, let's finish reading this, what it says. It says, no one will be permitted entrance without a signed waiver of liability. All persons entering will have agreed to a waiver and release of liability for Revival Ministries International, Inc. and their agents. So therefore, this company, not this church, this company has a waiver. For what? Is it because something unholy might happen there? Who knows? By the way, these little waivers they ask you to sign for this particular company, they don't have the force of the law. If something were to happen on their property, they are still liable according to any other state's law. So going back to it, as you're walking through, you've got the sheer large number of people that are taking these people's information. Why you're giving up this information voluntarily, again, don't know. I would never do that. But something here is kind of weird and odd. He's got this tombstone that he has up that says here, I guess Rodney Browne died years ago. He didn't die to the gospel. That part is sure. That part is clear. And you're going in, you got to have your wares where you show things off, where you sell things, all that sort of thing that's happening there. And then when you go into the church, remember, they've got these bracelets, and the bracelets that you have, that's how they track you, not just in the service, but obviously outside, because you gave them your name, your driver's license number, and your address, or at least the address that's on the driver's license. So they can track you, and so they have these assigned seats according to the bracelet that you have. And this bracelet, where they ended up sitting, they could not see because the TV that was supposed to, the monitor that was there was off. and presumably the sound. So what do? They get up and they move. But they are informed that, no, you've got to go back to your assigned seat. And who's going to tell them to move back to their assigned seat? Well, security is going to take them. Security is going to make them go to where they are supposed to be. That's not the seat according to the bracelet that you're wearing. Again, you have given up control. You told them where they are, and the fact that you didn't leave, the fact that even after giving your ID, after giving up your information, after being escorted out, you still didn't leave. You stayed the whole time. That just says a whole lot. Someone said that this is because he's gotten some threats on his life. Well, everyone has gotten threats on their life. I've gotten threats on my life. We all get that because it's just social media. Do I say don't take these things serious? Or no, I'm not saying that, but this is a bridge too far. This is a little bit, it's not proper, it's not good. And so let's go back and look at some things that Rodney Howard Browne says now. He's been around for the longest, and he is an original heretic. He's been around for so long. And one of the things that he preaches, he talks about you see these people laughing in the spirit and running around and things like that, which may be why the reason for the waiver of liability, which by the way, legally you cannot sign away that other company or that person. That's right, that company, not a church, but that company's liability. You're on their ground, something happening to you. You can't waive that away, but they will put these things out to get you to think that. But I digress. Back to the point. He teaches this belief of being drunk in the spirit. Before we go to it, let's go to the passage. The Bible says, do not be drunk with wine, for that is dissipation, but be filled with the Spirit. Now, the word that's used here for but, this is it's a point of contrast. So when you say but, when you say that, you're talking about not comparing something, but contrast. So he says, do not be filled with wine, but be filled with the Spirit. Now, it's not to say instead of being drunk with the wine, be drunk with the Spirit. No, it's a contrast. Doing this versus doing that. One is a lack of control. The other one is having self-control, which, by the way, we're told, according to Paul, that one of the fruits of the Spirit, or the result of having the Spirit, is, as he says, gentleness and self-control. So now we see Rodney Howard Browne saying, no. We want to drink spiritually.
Drink. This is a healing drink. Drink of the new wine.
As he's sitting there with the glasses on, telling you to drink, doesn't it kind of remind you of, I don't know, Jim Jones?
Drink of the new wine. Drink of the new wine of heaven. It comes from the grapes that have been freshly squeezed, that come from the vineyards of God. Drink.
No, don't drink.
Drink. Drink.
Don't drink.
Drink. Drink. Drink. Drink. Drink. Drink. Drink. Drink. You can't drink with your head. Jesus. You can't drink with your head. Drink with your heart. Drink with your heart. Drink with your heart. Drink. Drink. Drink.
And as you see that, what do you see? The result of that is people just laughing uncontrollably. What does this have to do with anything?
Free Chinese. Now, where are you from? Where are you from? Where in China are you from? Where? Huh? What? Beijing.
1997.
Fire! Fire! Fire!
Again, that has nothing to do with the Bible. This is literally the definition of unbiblical.
I was sitting, and he said,
And as you were looking through the lens, power of God come on you. What happened?
By the way, is it in the Bible what we're seeing? No, we've never seen this before, but people who don't read the Bible, who want a feeling, who want to feel like they're a part of something, they will go there and they'll miss heaven entirely.